and today we're going to do our Knight Storytime for our Imagine Your Story summer reading program. And as you can see, I have my shield over there, and we will get to that here in a little bit. And then we have our castle, even though it's pink, that's okay. So what we're going to do first is if you're royal and you know it. So it's kind of like if you're happy you know it. So get ready to clap your hands, okay? If you're royal and you know it, clap your hands. If you're royal and you know it, clap your hands. If you're royal and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're royal and you know it, clap your hands. Okay, and the next thing is, if you're royal and you know it, take a bow. So we're going to take a bow, okay? If you're royal and you know it, take a bow. If you're royal and you know it, take a bow. If you're royal and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're royal and you know it, take a bow. Okay, our next thing is, if you're royal and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're royal and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're royal and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're royal and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. Good job, y'all did so good. Okay, so we also have, we're going to march. Can you march in place with me? Just move your legs up and down like this. Up and down, we're marching. You can do it really, really hard if you have tennis shoes on, anything like that, but we're going to do the Knights Go Marching one by one, okay? Here we go. Moving our feet up and down first. We'll probably do this to 5, so we're going to do 5, okay? The Knights go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The Knights go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The Knights go marching one by one. They stop and stand to see the sun. The Knights go marching down to the cave to capture the dragon. So now we have 1. Can you show me 2? Good job. So the Knights go marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. The Knights go marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. The Knights go marching 2 by 2 and stop and stand to see what's new. The Knights go marching down to the cave to capture the dragon. Okay, so we had 2. We're going to have 1 more. So now we have 3. Can you wiggle it? Good job. So we're going to do the Knights go marching 3 by 3. Here we go. The Knights go marching 3 by 3, hurrah, hurrah. The Knights go marching 3 by 3, hurrah, hurrah. The Knights go marching 3 by 3, and they stop and rest by a tree. The Knights go marching 3 by 3 down to the cave to capture the dragon. They am tired. Okay, we got 3. Add 1 more. We got 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Knights. The Knights go marching 4 by 4, hurrah, hurrah. The Knights go marching 4 by 4, hurrah, hurrah. The Knights go marching 4 by 4, and they listen to the dragon snore. Okay. They all go marching down to the cave to capture the dragon. Okay, we had 4. Add 1 more. I'm getting tired. Are you all getting tired? So we got 5. Wait, 5. Good job. So we have 5, and we're going to march 1 more time. That's it. The Knights go marching 5 by 5, hurrah, hurrah. The Knights go marching 5 by 5, hurrah, hurrah. The Knights go marching 5 by 5 to see the dragon. Yeah, he's alive. They march all the way down to the cave, and they capture the dragon. Did you capture the dragon? Good job. That was super fun. Okay, so our next thing that we're going to do is Here's the Knight. We did this with our princess story time, so it's still the same. So here's the Knight. Can you act like you have your hat on? Or your little shield face mask? So here's the Knight with his feathered cap. We're going to take it off. Now can you bow? Good job. And here are his boots, which go tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Good job. Here's the dragon. Listen to him roar, roar. Good job. And here are his wings to help him soar. Good job. And here is the princess with her golden crown. Can you give me 4 fingers? Good job. Now put them behind your head, and that's our crown. So here's the princess with her golden crown in her lovely blue gown. We don't have on a blue gown, so we're just going to curtsy. So can you curtsy? Good job. Okay, our last thing before we start our story is, can you show me 5? I'm going to do 5 knights. They're brave this time. 5 little knights, fearless and brave. They all went down hunting deep, deep, deep into a cave. You hunting? Good job. They heard a loud roar. Good job. Shaking the cave floor. So one little knight ran away. So we had 5. We're going to take one away. We have 4. You showed me 4. Good job. We're going to wiggle it. Good job. 4 little knights, fearless and brave. They went dragon hunting deep, deep, deep into the cave. They heard a loud roar, shaking the cave floor, and one little knight ran away. So we had 4. Take one more. What do we have? 3. So show me 3. Good job. 3 little knights, fearless and brave, went dragon hunting deep down in a cave. And they heard a loud roar, and then they started shaking the cave's floor, and then one little knight ran away. So we had 3. We're going to take away 1. So now we have 2. So 2 little knights, fearless and brave, went dragon hunting deep down into a cave. They got there, and they heard a loud dragon go roar, and then the floor started shaking. Oh no, the cave is shaking. And one little knight ran away. So we had 2. Take away 1. We just have 1 left. Here we go. One little knight, fearless and brave, went dragon hunting deep down into a cave. He got down there and he heard the dragon go roar. And then the cave started shaking. The floor was shaking. And then he ran away because he was too scared. I was scared too. So we went from 5 to 0. Good job. Y'all did so good. Okay, so what we're going to do next is act like we're a king. Can you act like you're a king? And you're just high and fancy. We're mighty. So what we're going to do is wave to the people. Can you wave? Wave to the people. Wave to the people. Wave to everyone. You are the queen who does the best to give them all some fun. So we're like a queen. And now we're going to go like a king. Are you ready? So we're still got our pinky up, so we're like this. So wave, wave to the people. Wave, wave to everyone. Wave, because you are the king. That is the best, and you know that. To make sure that you have won the battle. Good job, y'all did so good. Okay, so our first story that we're going to do is Nick the Knight. And it is super cute. It's about a little small knight in the entire kingdom, but he finds a dragon friend. Hello! This is a story about Nick the Knight. He is the smallest knight in all of the kingdom. There are lots of things that knights should be very good at, but because he is so small, he is not very good at any of them. He isn't very good at archery. His sword is too big and too heavy for him to lift. His horse is too big for him to ride, and he isn't very brave. He's even scared of spiders. Ah! Spiders! Oh, all of the other knights in the kingdom make fun of Nick for being so small and not very brave. They won't even let him join in playing cabbage football. Goal! Yay! One day, Nick was in his castle, shining his sword and shield, when he heard a loud roar from outside. He quietly tiptoed to the top of the castle to see who or what had made such a loud and terrifying noise. As he peeked over the wall, Nick let out a gasp. It was the biggest dragon he had ever seen. Roar! The dragon let out another loud roar, and everybody in the kingdom ran away as fast as they could. It was also the scariest dragon Nick had ever seen, so he tried to hide behind his shield, but it was too late. The dragon had seen him. The huge dragon flapped his wings and flew over to the castle and landed next to Nick with a loud thud. The dragon lowered his head next to Nick's and opened its mouth, revealing sharp, pointy teeth and a breath that smelled like cabbage. Yuck! Oh no! Nick closed his eyes. He was sure he was about to be eaten. But, to Nick's surprise, he hadn't been eaten. He slowly opened one eye and peeked between his fingers. The dragon was sitting down and holding its mouth. Please, tooth hurts," said the dragon. "Everyone else is too scared to help, and I've got a toothache." Nick opened his eyes and looked into the dragon's mouth and saw an arrow stuck in between two of its teeth. Nick stood up and bravely reached into the scary dragon's mouth. He grabbed a hold of the arrow and gave it a pull with all of his strength. The arrow came straight out, and Nick fell backward onto the floor with a bump. The dragon looked at Nick and said, "Thank you, brave knight. My tooth doesn't hurt anymore." The dragon stuck out its tongue and gave Nick a great big lick. And with that, the dragon wiggled its tail and flapped its wings and took off into the sky. Everyone in the kingdom soon heard how brave Nick had been, and they threw him a big party to celebrate Sir Nick the Hero. And Nick became known as the bravest knight in all of the kingdom. That end. It was such a cute story. I hope you all like that story. The next thing we're going to do, I have these cute little things that we're going to act out. So we're going to stomp. Can you stomp like a giant? We're going to stomp like a giant. We're stomping. Good job. Now can you flutter like a fairy? You're going to flutter, flutter like a fairy. Good job. Now can we stand tall like a castle? Stand tall like a castle. Good job. Now, can you kneel down like a knight? I'm going to move my chair. I'm going to kneel down like a knight. So we're going to kneel down like a knight. Are you kneeling? Good job. Now we're going to, can you roll like a carriage? Roll like a carriage. Good job. Can you twirl in a circle like a princess? Twirl. Good job. Now, can you soar like a dragon? We're soaring out in the wide open sky like a dragon. Good job. Next thing we're going to do, can you hop like a frog prince? Can you get down on the floor and can you go hop, hop like a frog prince? Hop up and down. Good job. Now, can you put one foot in front of the other and we're going to prance like a unicorn. We're kind of skipping or hopping like a unicorn. Good job. Now, can you act like you have a wand in your hand? We're going to wave it like a wizard. Wave our wand like a wizard. Good job. Now, can we start out on the floor? We're going to sprout really down on the floor, and we're going to sprout up like a beanstalk. Ready? Good job. Now, can you act like you're swimming like a mermaid? Or you're a pirate in the water, we're just swimming? Good job, y'all did so good. Okay, so our next thing, we're going to count to 10, okay? So I'm going to need to see your fingers. We're going to do queens and kings. So this is how it's going to go, okay? We have 1 royal, 2 royal, 3 royal queens, 4 royal, 5 royal, 6 royal queens, 7 royal, 8 royal, 9 royal queens, 10 royal queens all in a row. Good job. Okay, now we're going to do knights, or kings. Ready? We're going to do kings. 1 royal, 2 royal, 3 royal kings, 4 royal, 5 royal, 6 royal kings, 7 royal, 8 royal, 9 royal kings, 10 royal kings in a row. Good job. That was so good. Okay, let's see if we have another thing we can do. Okay. We have 5 shining knights in armor, okay? 5 knights in shining armor, fearless and brave. We all went hunting deep down in the cave. Remember this? We just did it. We're hunting in the cave. We're just going to go 5. And then the dragon roared, and the cave started shaking on the floor, and one ran away. But since we already did that, we're going to skip that. So our next thing we have is a story I'm going to need your help with, okay? So we have the king with the terrible temper. Whenever you hear the king with the terrible temper, you're going to go, ugh. And you go, ugh. Then we have the tall daughter, and you're tall, all the way up tall. Then we have the short daughter. No way. Good job. We have the just right daughter. Can you give me a big thumbs up? Good job. And we have the handsome prince. Can you go, good job. And the white stallion. So you're going to slap your knees like a little horse, okay? Let me set that down. You slap up. You're going to have to repeat after me, okay? Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, lived a knight with a terrible temper. Remember? We're going to go, ah! Good job. So, he had 3 smart, beautiful daughters. The eldest was a short daughter, and the next was the tall daughter, but the youngest was the just right daughter. Good job. In a nearby land, there lived a handsome young prince. Now, can you go, good job. One bright summer day, this handsome young prince, good job. He rode his dashing white stallion. So we're going to do this, okay? Dashing white stallion up to the castle of the king with a terrible temper. Now, can you go, ah! Good job. So, he said to the king, the handsome young prince, good job, said to the king with a terrible temper, ah! I have come to seek a wife from among your 3 daughters. The king with the terrible temper, first presented his oldest, the short daughter. The handsome prince, he looked down at the short daughter and said, no, I'm afraid she's too short for my taste. And then the king with the terrible temper, presented his second daughter, the tall daughter. The handsome prince looked up at the tall daughter and said, no, methinks she's too tall. So, I cannot love your tall daughter or your short daughter, said the handsome young prince. Perhaps I could meet your youngest daughter, he said, hoping against hope that he would like her. Just then, on the stairway of the castle appeared the youngest, just right daughter. She smiled, and rapture filled the heart of the young, handsome prince. Oh, this daughter is perfect, he said. If she'll have me, I would like to marry her. But his words enraged the king with a terrible temper. Call out to the guards, he thundered, and turn out this impostor. But the handsome young prince, he immediately seized the youngest just right daughter, who, by the way, did love the handsome young prince, and with her in his arms, rushed out of the castle and jumped onto his dashing white stallion. And they rode away. When the guards appeared, all they could see was a cloud of dust raised by the hooves of the dashing white stallion. And as the handsome young prince and the just right daughter disappeared into the distance. So ends the romantic tale of the king with a terrible temper, and his short daughter, and his tall daughter, and his just right daughter, and the handsome young prince, and his dashing white stallion. Good job, y'all did so good. Thank you so much for the help with that story. So our next story is The Kiss That Missed. That's a super cute little story. It's by David Melling and illustrated by David Melling. Once upon a time, a Tuesday, the king was in a hurry as usual. Good night, he said, and blew his son a royal kiss. It missed. The young prince watched it rattle around the room, then bounce out of the window and into the night. The prince told the queen told the king, and the king had a quick word with his royal knight. Follow that kiss, he squawked. The knight mounted his horse, eventually, and galloped off in hot pursuit until they came to the wild wood. Wild creatures with wild eyes, too much hair, and very bad manners lived here. It was dark. It was smelly. It was snowing. And they were not alone. There were bears with long claws and growly roars, swooping owls of all shapes and sizes, and a pack of hungry wolves with dribbly mouths. Eek! Squeaked the knight, and suddenly, with a sparkle, the royal kiss came floating by, and in turn said goodnight to everyone. Bears stopped being growly, owls stopped being swoopy, wolves stopped being dribbly, and before you could say, "Follow that kiss!" they all settled down for a good night's sleep. After a while, they sat down on a wrinkly old tree trunk to rest. The wrinkly old tree trunk twitched and slowly rose into the air, above the woods and into the clouds. At last, they found themselves staring into a pair of very hairy nostrils. A dragon with this pair would be nice on toast. Eyes leered greedily at them. Suddenly, with a sparkle, the royal kiss came floating by and flew right up the dragon's nose. He sat up, sniffed, blinked. Slowly, he opened his mouth, took a deep breath, and sneezed. "Hang on," he said as they tumbled through the trees. "Come back," he puffed as he lumbered after them. "I want to pick you up and kiss you goodnight." Slowly, they all made their way back to the castle. He made sure everyone was comfortable and slowly read them a bedtime story from beginning to end. Almost. Do you like that story? It was super cute. I like that story. Okay, for our last story that I have, we're going to read In the Castle. It's by Anna Melbourne and Benji Davies. There's In the Castle. Have you ever visited an old tumble-down castle and wondered what it was like to live there long, long ago? The castle belonged to a king and queen, but they didn't live in it alone. Knights lived here too, and ladies in waiting, and horses and blacksmiths and cooks. It was a very busy place indeed. The king of the castle ordered everyone about. He sent the knights on exciting adventures, and when they rushed back with tales of all that they'd done, the knight's little nephew would long to be a knight. But first, he'd have to learn to ride and fight with a wooden sword. He'd help a real knight get ready for each heroic quest. Later, when he was old enough and brave enough, the king might make him a knight too. He'd kneel before the throne. "Arise, Sir Knight," the king would say, and tap his shoulders with a sword. From then on, his job would be to keep the kingdom safe. When enemies attacked, all the knights sprang into action. They lifted up the drawbridge so no one could come in. But the enemies swam across the moat and climbed the walls on ladders, so the knights fought them off with their swords and pushed the ladders down. Then they shot with bows and arrows until the enemies ran away. To celebrate the victory, the king and queen had a party. They ate roasted peacock and fish with flowers and honey cakes and gingerbread. A jester clowned around and made everybody laugh. The next day they played jousting. Two knights rode fast toward each other and tried to knock each other off. It didn't hurt quite a bit if you lost, but if you won, you got a prize and everybody cheered. Soon the castle went back to normal. The knight gave his orders and ruled his kingdom. The cooks cooked, and the servants cleaned, and the knights did whatever they liked until they were needed again. But that was all a long, long time ago. But just imagine if it weren't. Did y'all like that story? This is such a cute story. I loved it. So, in your bag, in your summer reading bag, you should have gotten a shield or a sword. Either one, you're going to decorate these and color them. You can send them in on our Facebook Messenger page or WayneCountyLibrary.org. And then you can do whatever else you have in your little bag. I know this week we had our story time. So those little jewels that are in here, you can put all around on your sword, those little shiny things. You can put on your sword or your shield. You get a little squishy dragon. That's so cute. And a tattoo in there. Then you have coloring sheets. And some fun things you can do at home. If you have a pool noodle at home, if you're outside only, You can act like there's swords with your brother or sister, but you have to be outside, and you can't hit each other. You're just hitting the little pool noodles back and forth. Or you can act like you have your helmet on, and you have your shield, and you're just running around and doing little cute quests with your brother or sister or friends. And you can also imagine what it would be like to have a dragon. You can draw your own dragon on a piece of paper. Feel free to send those to us too. We'd love to see them. And you can tell or act like your dog or cat's a magical pet. Draw what they would look like if they had wings. Just make it into your own creation. It's just a whole bunch of fun. So if you see my shield, this is what my shield looks like. You design your own of different things that you like, or different designs, patterns, colors, anything. And I hope you had fun today with our story time. I will see you next week.